42 million Americans are gonna not get their food stamps and they're gonna go hungry. And this is not a clickbait, this is not a rage bait video. These are the actual numbers. I got it right here. And it is absolutely crazy because starting on November 1st, they also got to start picking up some work. They got to volunteer and they're going to have to contribute to society in one way or another. And there's a bunch of requirements. If you're younger, you don't have to. If you're older, if you're above 59, you also don't have to. But I got a few videos planned here, and Medicaid Mama's making a comeback, and she's completely misinformed, and somebody else instead of me is going to talk over that one. So we're going to look at that. But yeah, it is absolutely crazy. 42 million Americans might not get their Thanksgiving turkeys on time because they cannot afford it. And I know something about free stuff. Whenever you hand out free stuff, it is always gonna bite you in the butt. And for me personally, I had that when I've lent people stuff. So when you lend people tools, you lend people just different equipment. And whenever you do it for free, then they don't value it, they don't cherish it, and all of a sudden they'll return it third year and or didn't use it the right way and they mess it up. So and then all of a sudden you should have been like, you know what? Instead of me actually giving it to you so you save a few $100s, you should have just went out and bought it because you return it in such a condition now that I have to go out and buy it. And so these are some of my experience when I did free stuff. And Allie used to do coaching where she said, hey, I'll help you get a job. You can use my network. And I try to introduce you to some people in the Bay Area. The tech community is kind of tight. So, and I was like, yeah, if I know somebody at that company, I try to reach out on your behalf and see that you'd be a great fit for that job. And it worked out for a lot of people. And so when she used to volunteer and say, you know what, I'm going to volunteer and I'm not going to take payment because you cannot afford it, the sum of most people, I would say 90% of people did not value her time. And that's why she stopped doing it, because these people didn't show up on time. And I remember it. And she was just like, oh, they didn't show up. They're late. They're 20 minutes late. And it's like, these people want something from me and not the other way around, that I want something from them that I'm going to be waiting. Super rude. And then she's like, you know what? If they're not going to pay me anything, I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. And she got burned so many times that she's like, no, if you're not going to willing to spend a few dollars and it's going to actually take out your credit card and do it, you're going to have to, pay, or I'm just not going to waste my time because it takes effort on my time, takes effort to reach out and all kinds of stuff. And so let's watch this young lady talk about what she's doing because she's going to work.
So guess what I'm doing for the first time in 12 years? Okay. I am getting up. I'm ready, did my hair, took my shower, brushed my teeth, and I'm going to do my community service hours. Why community service hours, do you ask? Because they told me in order to keep my food stamps, I would have to do 15 hours of community service per week. That's at minimum. I can do more if I want to, which I probably will because I don't have anything else going on. And my kids are in daycare since I qualified for subsidized childcare. So I'm going to do my 15 hours or more. I haven't decided yet. It depends on how I like it at the place where I'm volunteering. Um, but anyways, this is just until I get an actual full-time job, because they don't just let you stay in community service for as long as you want. You have to like find employment or go to school. So,
And this is what I always tell you guys. I always tell you to make your hair, dress nicely, do your makeup, wear some deodorant, and brush your teeth. It's like the common things that you would think like everybody knows that they don't do. And I love this because these, when you're going to show yourself and you're going to put yourself out there, you will attract opportunities. It would not surprise me if this woman will get a super nice gig down the road and be like, you know what, now I'm making six figures. It's going to take her a little bit of time. But man, once you're going to put yourself out there, you're going to start liking it. You like what you do. You're good at it, because I do believe everybody got a skill and everybody has something to offer to the world that is really, really valuable. And so you just got to figure out what that is and then capitalize on that. And so if you like videos like this, please like and subscribe. That would really help out my channel. And so, yeah, so she's like, hey, I'm going to work. I'm putting my best step forward, what I always say, atomic habits. And now we're going to watch somebody else. We're going to watch Medicaid Mama basically like destroying herself. And this woman, I've had her on my channel a few times, but man, this is just absolutely crazy. And I have somebody else talk over it because the amount of misinformation is just crazy.
There is a rumor going around that there's a possibility of SNAP benefits not getting paid out for November because of the shutdown. My understanding is that this will be a state by state basis.
Your understanding is incorrect. It's just that some of the states have sent out warnings now and some of the states didn't bother to do it. This is from Pennsylvania, and they were letting people know that there will be no SNAP benefits for the month of November. Starting August 16th, SNAP benefits will not be paid until the federal government shutdown ends and the funds are released to Pennsylvania. And it looks like that's going to be all states, not just Pennsylvania. States were warned about the November SNAP benefits, and Secretary Rollins had tweeted out this warning, and it also sent notifications to all the states. They also sent a letter on October 10th. Whether your state decided to tell you or not is up to your state, but there's not currently sitting right now, unless they were to open up and quickly, which nothing ever happens quick in the government, unless they were to open up like this week and quickly push that funding through, okay, you're likely not going to see your benefits. And even if you did, it's probably going to be late, which means you probably won't have it in time for Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, you're out here.
Are you using your food stamps to buy pumpkins to decorate for Halloween?
Those pumpkins that you bought run anywhere from $3 to $5. You had those three, so that's what, $15. Then you were going to go to Aldi and buy a big one, which is probably going to run you $7 to $10. About $20 worth of pumpkins is what you bought. Pumpkins that you're not going to can or eat, and I don't care what the hell you say in your videos, you're not going to do that. What are you going to do? You're going to eat pumpkin puree for Thanksgiving? Is that what you're going to feed your kids? You could have taken that $20 and used it to get everything that you need, all of the sides, everything that, at least, at the very least, had gotten a turkey or a small turkey or a chicken or something for Thanksgiving dinner. You should have planned ahead, but I don't even know why I'm standing on the soapbox, because that is exactly why people like you and people like you are in the position that you're in, because you don't do that. You just figure the daddy government will help you out whenever you need it. Why you're here. You don't know how to budget. You don't know how to cook. You just take advantage and you take and you take and you take. Looking more and more like, and it doesn't look like they plan on opening up at any point this week. It is looking more and more likely like you're not going to get your SNAP benefits this week. So if you currently have SNAP, you need to start saving that and get your dinner, get what you need for November too, because it's very likely you may not get a check. Go on.
So yeah, so we heard her, and these people are really upset with some of these creators that say, "Oh, I'm on SNAP benefits. I use the government, and I can't get a job because I'm busy. I need to co-parent. I need to run errands during the day, and all kinds of stuff." And if you have a job, that's kind of how it goes, right? You got to run your errands in the before or in the afternoon once you're done, if you can even call it afternoon. When you're off at 5, that's probably nighttime, and then you get home and you're tired and you need to cook and you need to do childcare and everything else. That's the real world. That's how a lot of Americans are. And I got another video showing here in a little bit of another guy who's like, all these people that are like looking at SNAP benefits, and it's like, well, now all these 42 million Americans are going to be like us that work 60, 70 hours a week, try to go home, and we can't fill our carts, our food carts, like you guys can with SNAP benefits. And so I just earn just a little bit too much, so I don't qualify for any of it. And these people are also like fed up. They're coming out and saying, welcome to how most Americans live. You got a budget, you got to look at your finances, and this is what it all comes down to. You got to look at, what am I making? What are my opportunities? And am I in a career or a job? They're not the same. A job is where you just go and you just kind of skate by, but a career is where you then leverage yourself to a bigger position, a nicer one, a bigger salary and opportunities. And you can make a career out of almost anything. You just need to be on the career track. And what does it require to be on the career track? You got to look at what this first lady has been saying. Make your hair, dress nice, brush your teeth, and wear some deodorant and all that kind of other stuff. It's kind of crazy to say that, that I have to say this. And she's kind of crazy to say it because, man, this should be normal common sense. But nope, it is not. So let's watch this guy talk about how he's fed up with these SNAP benefits people.
To all those that are losing their food stamps, now you're going to know what it feels like to be a real person. You could always tell the food stamp people when you're at the grocery store and they got a full cart of anything they want. But us Monday to Friday, 9 to 5ers, 40, 50, 60 hour a week people, we only grab what we actually really need for that week. Welcome to the real world.
So you heard him. Welcome to the real world. And people in the comment section are agreeing, saying like, hey, welcome to the real world. That's what we're facing at. And yeah, it's like absolutely correct. These are some of the comments. And people are said, amen You're so on point. I'm so tired of paying for other people. And yeah, is this real? Finally is happening. Great news for America. Great news. Hell yeah, get them back to work. And these were the comments that these people were leaving and saying, you know what? Get these people back to work. They should contribute like other people in society. And yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen here, because with the government shutdown, it is still ticking and it's not looking like they're budging on either side. So this might go on for longer. And man, if you're going to be furloughed, man, you got to pick up a side hustle. You got to do something. But the problem is Uber saturated, DoorDash saturated, everything else. That's why I've been telling you guys since a year or something, you got to figure out your side gig. You got to do something where you can make some money on the side or teach somebody. If you're an air traffic controller, tutor people. See, hey, I passed the exam. This is what you need to do. I'll offer my services. If you're in another industry where you're a police officer, you can pick up other shifts, or you can then say, hey, I'm going to be a security guard or something, and you can figure out what you really want to do to make some extra money. So if your primary source of income winds down, you can just dial up that other one. And then maybe you're like, you know what, this government shutdown hasn't been too bad because I ramped up my business and now I'm ready to go. And I did it now for a few weeks, and man, I'm making actually pretty decent money. So why not risk it and go all in? And there you go, entrepreneurship started. And welcome to the entrepreneurship world, where you create your own income and you actually go out and you're responsible for your ups and your downs. No boss, just you and your computer and whatever else you need. But that's for many Americans. Many Americans are mom and pop stores that have been doing that for a long time. So yeah, it's crazy. And man, these people that have been on SNAP benefits and rely on it, it's crazy, because man, you know that they're gonna put stipulations on it that this is only gonna be for a certain amount of time, and then we want you back in the workforce and we can't do it forever. So yeah, that is reality for so many people. And other people are just fed up with it. And I get it. I get it. People are like, why do I need to go to work? Why do I need to slave over this? And I don't want to go to work. I'd rather just sit at home, watch TV, watch Netflix, and be done. But no, I got to put myself out there and I got to provide for my family and do it. And so if you're in that predicament, like, how do I even go about it? Because there's people that just don't know and they're like, I'm panicking. I don't know what I do. So first thing that you need to do is do what this first woman said. Start looking a little bit at the part. If you have a beard, you trim it, you make it look nice. You wear some deodorant, and you basically print out your resume, and you then go and hand it to people, and you try to make connections beyond just, hey, how's it going? And I know people have been introverted since COVID, where it's like, oh, I don't want to get rejected. But that's what it basically is. You shake as many hands as possible and say, hey, this is my qualification, and you do an elevator pitch. And you will get better at it. I'm not expecting you to go out there and say, okay, this is what I want. And then all of a sudden, you're going to be like, okay, I landed the first time asking, and the first time I got it, then you didn't aim high enough. You need to get rejected a lot. And then all of a sudden, once you get rejected a lot, and then somebody says, you know what, I like you, I'm going to give you an opportunity, you will be so thankful that you did that. And then looking back at it, it's like, it's not that bad. And so, yeah, that's what it kind of all comes down to, that you just try and you try again. And the same goes for entrepreneur. If you're in entrepreneurship, you try, you fail another 6 times, and then you're like, okay, I got something cooking here. I had 1 success, 10 failures, and all of a sudden something happened. Look at Edison with the light bulb, 10,000. And I always reference that it takes you a very, very long time to be successful. I don't know people that are just coming out of the gate and be like, you know what, I'm successful. No, it took years to, even for my YouTube journey, for me to come where I'm at with 12,000 subscribers. Thank you for all of that. It took me years. It's not just like, oh, you can just make a few videos here and there and then all of a sudden you did it. No, I showed up every day. If it was raining, if it was cold, I showed up and I made videos. I'm trying to broadcast value. I'm trying to build an audience. I'm trying to build value where people then go out and say, you know what, I actually want to do better. And then that's good enough for me. And this is kind of what my channel is about. I try to teach you on what I've done to become successful, so you then can become successful in your own way or your own form and say, you know what, this is what I want to do in life. And maybe this government shutdown doesn't have all negatives. Something's positive too, that you're like, hey, let me pursue this entrepreneurship. Let me do something and see if I can make something out of nothing. And people can do it. You just have to willing to grind. You're willing to have to go out and figure it out, because there's people that sell useless crap all the time, and you can turn shit into gold. You just need to know how. You need to have the knowledge, and you need to do the legwork of figuring it out. And yeah, that's kind of what it's all about. And this is why I love the United States. And this is why I love it, because you can just do it. You don't have to, the market isn't saturated wherever you're at. You can still do it. And you can always offer services, and people at parties even ask you, hey, what do you do? So then you can go and make a pitch. Be like, yeah, I offer lawn care services. So if you ever need something, let me get your phone number. Just shoot me a text, and I'll shoot you a quote over the phone. And if you're an electrician, same thing. If you're a plumber, same thing. So this is like baked into American society, that question of, hey, what do you do for a living? And so there's no other better way than you to pitch your own business when you're there and be like, yeah, just, here's a card. Or yeah, let me know if you ever need something. And yeah, that's just how it goes. And you can become extremely successful and control your own destiny rather than just a 9 to 5 paychecks. And don't get me wrong, 9 to 5 paychecks, if that's your thing, keep at it. Just make sure you're in a career rather than just a job. And yeah, this was it from Las Vegas. It's super nice out. And this is the year that it's like, and this is like the season where it's like, it's nice. The breeze is good. The wind is nice. It's not too hot, not too cold. And people are out and about. They're just living their best lives, barbecuing, having all kinds of stuff. And yeah, and I'm out here walking. I haven't walked the last few days. I've been doing construction. And you know how I know that the economy's not doing bad? Because people steal everything. People literally steal shit that is bolted in. And so somebody stole, under power, stole my fuse box, stole the fuse, stole the 200 amp fuse that goes in there. It's crazy. And then I had a dump trailer, and somebody just broke open the dump trailer, the 12 volt, to charge their battery, because where I was, I parked it in an area where it wasn't so great overnight, and homeless people just came and stole a 12 volt battery. How do I know? Because I've seen them use 12 volt batteries. And so what that does to you is that just gives you less and less compassion towards other people's excuses, because other people say, oh, I had a bad day here, had a bad day there. And what that does to you when you're an entrepreneur and you're going to get these setbacks is that you're just going to keep on pushing. And then when people bring up excuses, I didn't bring that up as an excuse of why I can't continue. No, you find solutions. And that breaker, that was a $400 and something breaker. That battery was $100 and something. With the labor, driving around trying to find that breaker, probably with my time, at the end of the day, it's going to be like the whole situation, how much that whole thing costed overnight that they pulled is like $1,000. And so what is going to happen? The cost is going to go on to the buyer of the place or the person that's going to rent it. So yeah, it's crazy. But when people steal shit, it's just absolutely bananas. But hey, this is where we're at. We deal with it. And yeah, best step forward. I pray for these people that, that really helped them out for the battery. But if not, so what? Lucky of you, you got a battery. And I got to invest in some better locks. That's kind of it. And yeah, man, gorgeous, gorgeous Sunday. If you're watching this on Monday morning, I'm back to work. I'm grinding out so I can get rough inspection done in the next week. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much if you like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. And I got trusty Jasmine today. And yeah, been driving her around. I freaking love, love, love it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time.